Flashback Friday. See the stars. Through the years, exclusive interviews and rare footage of the famous faces you know and love.
Welcome to FNL's Flashback Friday. In this episode, we're going to talk about Adam Lambert.
Hey there, I'm Adam Lambert, and you're watching Rocco on Fashion News Live.
I always enjoy interviewing him, and he brings out such a great personality and style every time we talk, and his fans really support him. So we do an interview, it goes viral like that. So I appreciate Adam being on the show.
Oh, oh, thank you.
You know, he had me at first pet. So I went to the RuPaul drag show's premiere in West Hollywood. I ended up running into Adam Lambert. I asked him what he was wearing, and look what happened.
There's a drag queen here in Los Angeles. She's a legend, but she's in hiding now.
Okay.
Her name is Ms. Alana, superstar. And this was a hand-me-down.
Cool. Whoa! Look, anyone that's working the red carpet as a reporter, be careful sometimes when you ask what someone's wearing, because you might get whipped. You know, it could be a good thing or a bad, but it's possible. Juliana, Ryan Seacrest, all those people out there, be careful. In this interview, Adam Lambert tells me a little bit on how his life has been after he's appeared on American Idol.
Your life has changed so dramatically, right?
Yeah. Dramatically? I just coined a new phrase. Watch out, Paris Hilton, because that's hot.
From Idol, and then TV, and then now just so many things. It's been like a whirlwind, right? Just bam, 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 bam.
It's crazy.
So what has that transition been like for you?
It's crazy. I mean, it's never printed out for you in like a schedule or a blueprint. This is how you go off of American Idol and try to become a pop star. I mean, there's no instructions, you know. So it's been a very interesting game of guessing. It's been a roller coaster, trial and error. But you know, the way I look at it is I'm doing my best, and I'm having a good time, and I'm living a great life.
Adam discloses the musicians that inspire him the most as he was growing up. You gotta watch this, it's pretty inspirational.
When I first heard Freddie Mercury, I was like, what the? You know, I was kind of floored, because he was so intense and in your face. Him and Michael Jackson are kind of like two sides of the same coin for me. Performers that were visual, that were dynamic, that had stage presence, but that ultimately had singing chops.
Once get whipped, maybe twice a little bit shy, I'm not sure. But Adam and I catch up again at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, and we reminisce about what happened earlier at the RuPaul's Drag Race premiere in West Hollywood. You gotta check this out.
Was at the premiere of RuPaul Drag Race in West Hollywood, and you were like whipping me, remember that?
He regretted wearing what he wore.
And I regret what I wore, actually.
Really?
But I hope it made you laugh, or I hope it made an impression. It was that leather fringe poncho. It was horrifying.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
But it has history.
But Adam, it was okay. It was a fashion statement, and there's no rules with fashion. One day you could wear the poncho and go around whipping people. The next day you could wear a non-poncho and be in a tank top and still be fashionable. It's okay, Adam. All your fans still love you, and I love having you on my show. I hope you enjoyed our FNL Flashback Friday on Adam Lambert. In my scorecard, he was the winner for American Idol. We're going to talk about Amanda Lepore.
I'm Amanda Lepore, and you're watching the very sexy Rocco on Fashion News Live.
Amanda made a remix album called Fierce Pussy. Listen to what she says about it.
Remixes to my CD is out, and we're working on finishing up the album.
And how's that going?
It's going great. There's really like awesome tracks, and I think people are gonna like it.
After meeting David LaChapelle one evening while hosting at Bowery Bar in New York City, she began to work with him and ultimately achieved international acclaim as his muse. She participated in LaChapelle's Artists and Prostitutes that ran from 1985 to 2005 exhibit in New York City, where she lived in a voyeuristic life-size set. So she lived in this set while David LaChapelle was creating art and had this exhibit, and that just put her on the map for stardom as his muse. Now, she makes a lot of visits to David, and they still work together on an ongoing basis. They're actually really fun together.
David, I mean, he's definitely the one that I love, and he really did everything for me, and it's definitely a spiritual bond.
He said that you and Sharon are one of his best friends. He talks to you guys every day.
Oh, totally, totally.
Check this out. Amanda really discloses backstage what she's going to be wearing at the Rich Rich show, and you're not going to believe it.
What are you going to be wearing on the runway? Nothing?
A rhinestone on my vagina.
Oh my God, that is exactly what you should be wearing. That sounds marvelous. Yeah.
And I was completely
Is
naked.
that for the private show later or for the runway?
No, the runway.
Amanda started her transgender process at the age of 17 years old when she decided to start having operations to become, she was born as a man to then develop into a woman. So I thought she was a viable person to talk to and get her advice for all the young gay and lesbians out there that are struggling with coming out of the closet. So this is what she says.
Well, I think it's hard at first, and you always end up a winner if you're true to yourself. And, you know, like your lives will be like much more happier, I think.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of FNL's Flashback Friday with Amanda Lepore. Stay tuned as we continue showcasing the best right here on FNL's Flashback Friday. We're going to talk a little bit about Carol Alt and go through the years of interviews that I've done with her. She's actually become a dear friend of mine, and she is an awesome person to have on the show, and I love getting her on camera on FNL.
Hi, I'm Carol Alt, and you're watching Rocco on Fashion News Live.
Carol gives some advice about do's and don'ts of the industry. She is very wise when it comes to the modeling world. She's seen it all. She's done it all.
No more shoulder pads. Let's get rid of the shoulder pads and really way too low jeans. I mean, somewhere around the hip area is good, but when it's at the top of your crack, forget it. Too low. And you know what? Really see-through with nothing underneath or a really ugly bra underneath is a no-no too.
Carol Alt talks about the controversy surrounding models' weight. Now, she's a supermodel herself, and she's done so many things all over the world, so she knows what it's like to have to be able to control your weight and the various weight issues that models have. And here, she gives us a piece of her mind concerning the controversy behind all those weight issues of models around the world.
Well, I wrote a book called Eating in the Raw, and it talked about how I was able to maintain my weight by eating foods prepared raw or prepared differently than most foods are prepared. And it's nutritioned me very well. It's kept me extremely thin without being starving. Now, you know, the girls have to be thin, let's face it, that's part of the business. But it's the way they do that I think that people are really upset with because they look like they're starving themselves.
So I'm at the Joanna Maserani show, and I'm interviewing Carol. Now, I used to model way back when. Of course, Carol Alt, supermodel. I was never a supermodel, but I had the opportunity to walk on the runway with Carol Alt.
How do we do? Hand in hand? Okay, ready?
Absolutely.
Now we're gonna strut. How's that good? Is that good?
And then I utilized what she taught me when I walked in the Eva Ming show in New York City. And I remembered when I was walking in the Eva Ming show, all the little things that Carol advised me to do.
My hips, but I'm not a man. What am I saying? What am I saying? Okay, I'm sorry. I am a man. I'm not a woman.
What the hell am I saying? I'm dyslexic. I assure everyone very much that I am a man. I promise you. I checked my birth certificate and I looked, yeah, I'm a male. You don't have to worry about it out there. Carol Alt gives us an inside perspective on how it was to be on Celebrity Apprentice with that cutthroat team she was involved with.
I never saw girls that were supposed to be working together as a group literally beat each other down and kick you when you were down. I mean, and we were supposed to be working together. It was a real education, and I have to tell you that I've changed how I do business since then. Oh yeah, absolutely. Besides the fact I got to pick Donald Trump's brain, Gene Simmons' brain. I mean, how stupid would you have to be in a room with either one of those two guys and not pick their brains?
Carol and I discuss accessories and how accessories are like spice or sex. Which is better? Watch this and you guys can decide.
Accessories are like sex for me. I just have
That's
to
even
have
better.
them.
We all love sex,
I
right?
have to have them. You know, when I have good accessories, I'm so happy.
It's
I
like
get
great
so
sex.
high. It's like great sex. Absolutely.
You know that Carol Alt is such a great friend of mine, she even wipes off my shoulders. What are friends for? You're at Fashion Week, you have to make sure that you both look great, right? You got a little stuff on your shoulder, just wipe it off and keep moving on.
Fur all over you.
No,
I see
you could shed on me all you want. 'Cause I know
Not
anything
in my
comes out.
Dennis Basso
That's
coat.
right.
Carol Alt has become a friend over the years, and I really enjoy interviewing her and having her on my show. We're going to talk about an incident that occurred back in 2007. My publicist at the time called me and said that I had to meet this beautiful woman that wanted to be my co-host for FNL. She said that I absolutely had to meet her, that she was going to be the biggest star out there, so as a favor, I said okay. I got the telephone number and we met in person. I gave her some one-on-one training on how to be my co-host for FNL, and I told her, all right, let's do Miami Fashion Week together. So we meet in South Beach, we go to Miami Fashion Week, and I tell her, hey, Jessica Simpson's gonna have her show and premiere it right here at Swim Week. Why don't you interview her backstage? She was a little apprehensive, but she said it was okay and that was fine. So my co-host and I journey backstage and we start walking towards Jessica Simpson. When Jessica Simpson acknowledges who's next to me, she turns around and hustles to her dressing room. I was unaware at the time of what was happening. I didn't understand why the woman that we had scheduled to do an interview with, which was Jessica Simpson, hauled booty and didn't want to be interviewed by my co-host. So Jessica Simpson's mother came out, and when Jessica Simpson's mom started walking towards us, my co-host turned around and walked and waited for me front row of the show. Jessica Simpson's mother walks up to me and says, oh, I am so sorry, but Jessica doesn't feel good right now. Let's do the interview after the show. And please give my regards to your co-host's mom, which is Kris Jenner. My co-host was Kim Kardashian. So I walk out to the front row area where Kim and I was gonna sit to watch the show, and I ask Kim, what was that about? Kim, like, what just happened? And Kim says, well, there's rumors flying around that I slept with Nick Lachey, and that's why they got a divorce. And I said, well, did you sleep with him? What's the deal? And Kim said, I never kiss and tell. After that little embarrassing incident backstage at the Jessica Simpson show, Kim was able to catch up with her friend Caroline DeMore.
This is Kim Kardashian backstage at the Ashley Page show, here with my best friend in the entire world, because we all have a million, Caroline DeMore.
We do have a lot. Hi, what's up?
The #1 model in the Ashley Page for Girls Gone Wild fashion show. We are huge Joe Francis fans as well. He's one of my greatest friends. I'll speak for myself. Caroline, what was your favorite look in the show?
I was a really big fan of the looks I wore, and I'm not just being lame like that because I'm not like that, but I really liked the really tiny gold bikini, and I really liked the
high-waisted skirt.
The high-waisted skirt was hot, but my favorite in all was the, the baby doll kind of corset.
The denim one with the bow on the booty.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Bow on the booty. I like
bow on the booty.
I caught up with Kim, and she told me about the opening of her store Dash with her sisters and what she was doing at Fashion Week this season.
Kind of out here seeing what our next move is. I think our next move will be designing, and I'd love to start with swimwear because I'm a huge fan of swimwear and swimwear accessories, cover-ups. So we're kind of out here to see what our competition is.
I talked to Kim the day before she started filming her show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And she shared how exciting it was that she was about to become an aunt.
So I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
How many months along is she?
She's 6 months. Yeah, so she's due in December. So this Christmas is going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So pretty soon you're going to be like Aunt Kimmy.
Yes, Auntie Kimmy.
Kim gives a really cute confession. Let's hear it.
I'm probably stalking you.
So what are you doing here?
Get some personal insight on the private viewing at Kim's house before her show premieres on the E! Networks. This is how she felt about it.
Up with the Kardashians, it aired tonight. Ryan Seacrest is our producer, and he just showed us, he premiered the show for us. We had a little get together, so I had to leave there and come here. We're all so excited. The show just aired tonight, so we're nervous, but we're excited. We hope everyone likes it.
Let's say people watch on TV, right? And they're like, oh, one day I want to be like Kim Kardashian. What advice would you give them? Hey, you never know.
I would say just be yourself and have fun with what you do and love what you do, because it's everything. When you really love what you're doing and you're having a good time, it really doesn't feel like work.
Shortly after this interview, Kim unfortunately went through a divorce, but soon met Kanye West and gave birth to Northwest. I wish Kim and Kanye all the best. Now, the first time I met Kim, she was not Kim Kardashian. She was not famous. She was just a girl that knew a lot of people, that was able to come to Fashion Week, talk to a publicist, and convince me to give her an opportunity to hold my microphone and interview people on my show. She She was really nice. She actually still is very nice, and I really do enjoy having her on the show. I congratulate her for having a child, and I wish her the best and all the health in the entire world. We're going to talk about Carson Kressley.
My name is Carson Kressley, and you're live at Fashion Week.
Way back when I first interviewed him when he had an evil Mickey Mouse shirt, all the way up until most recently, to hear about everything he's doing and throughout the years. He's been an amazing guest, and I love having Carson on the show. Sometimes there's a little confusion of who's the host and who's the guest. But it's always so much fun. Carson has been a regular guest on my show. And on our very first interview, many years ago, we ascertained that Carson had freakishly long arms. I'm 6'4.5", and he has longer arms than me. Check this out.
Oh my. Longer than yours. You're
That's
much
crazy.
taller.
I'm like
Isn't
6'5".
that weird? Yeah, smoking.
Smoking, don't smoke out there.
Don't
Smoking
smoke
is bad.
while you're pregnant.
No, see, when I was pregnant, I didn't smoke.
I didn't either.
Good.
No.
Sometimes when you're interviewing people, it sucks, and sometimes it's really fun. So I guess after Carson seeing the success that we had after our first interview, he confesses his love to me. And Carson, yes, I love having you on my show, and you know I love you too.
Look foggy right now, though.
Because you're sitting on my lap?
I think I'm falling in love.
So Carson and I are hanging out, waiting to watch the Jay McCarroll show. We got so inspired by the music and what was happening, we decided to start our own little sing-along, and this is what happened.
Oh my God, we're like Ewan McGregor and
Oh my God, we could be like Cher and Tony. Oh no, Cher and Sonny.
Sonny and Sonny.
We are like Sonny and Sonny.
We are.
Yes, Cher.
You'll have to grow the mustache, though. I can't.
Okay, I'm gonna grow it out a little bit more, and then we can get together and do our band.
Done.
So I go to interview Carson. He ends up grabbing my mic, and the situation gets out of control, as it often does when I interview Carson.
Uh-oh. Maybe you're missing really good interviews. I better go. Okay. Thank you so much for being on Fashion News Live. Enjoy the show. Okay. God, I thought he'd never leave.
Carson has a very funny, silly side, and we see that often when we're on camera together. But you know what? There's a very sincere, serious, generous man behind that funny laugh and behind that personality.
Let's put it together. It's to benefit a cause that's very near and dear to my heart, which is the Al D. Rodriguez Liver Foundation. And Al was a very close friend of mine and a group of our friends. He was really part of our family here in New York. And about 2 years ago, he got sick with liver cancer and died 6 weeks later. And was
Carson tries to initiate me into the program with reasoning that it's trend for spring. I didn't fall for that one.
You into the program.
Are you gonna make me part of the family?
If you want to be. You know, it's really cool to be gay right now. I'm just saying.
So it's like the trend.
It's the trend for spring. Everyone's doing it.
Where do I sign up?
At my house.
Oh,
later tonight.
Carson and I talk about his up-and-coming projects and what he's going to have for dinner.
Just wrapped our first season of Carson Nation, and we started in California. We went to New Mexico and Utah, Nevada, Texas, and it's a really, 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 I'm going to say it, it's a really amazing makeover show.
So what's next on your palette?
What's next on my plate? My plate.
Tonight on your palette, you're going to have Italian, but on your plate.
Of course I'm going to have Italian. It's the most delicious.
Once again, Carson and I have a tender moment. A heart-to-heart. Al mano at Fashion Week.
No, I love you.
I love you
Confessing
too.
my love on my show. Look at that.
Stop it. He can't help it. All right.
Ever since way back when, in 07 or 06 or whatever.
And I have to clear up who the guest is and who the host is. He's always grabbing my mic. I'm the host, but I know that other people want to be the host. Come on, Carson. We'll work it out one of these days. We just have to clear it up sometimes.
You're here at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week for fall 2011.
I'm your host,
Rocco.
And I'm his guest, Carson Kressley. You're watching Fashion News Live.
Our shoes are even in love.
Jing, what kind of shoes are like? Look, mine are Zara.
Great minds think alike.
That's right, and they end in A's like vowels, like Italian.
Carson gives me the backstory on what he's doing with Oprah's new network.
Oprah Winfrey Network, which
Oprah, she loves you.
I hope so, and I love her. Her network, OWN, is launching 1/1/11, January 1, 2011, and I'm hosting a show for her called Your Own Show, and we're looking for like the next big TV star for Oprah.
Someone walks between the camera and Carson and I, and this is how we responded.
Back off.
I think we pretty much have this sealed.
This is ours. You know, I was walking outside of the
turf.
That's right. Stay out of here. Stay out of. What do you think you guys are doing? Stay out of here.
Anyway, you don't want me to come out there and mess up your hair.
Or smack you around with your makeup. What the hell am I saying?
Thank you. I like that. That was hot.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Sometimes when I'm interviewing Carson, we get confused on who's the guest and who's the host. Carson's a prankster, and a lot of times we don't really get to see that because things are happening so fast in the show. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this clip in slow motion. Now make sure to read his lips so you don't miss what he says about me. I assure you, it is not true.
When that ball dropped, we know that Carson Kressley had something to do with it because he peddled those watts.
Yes.
I think you guys might have missed it. Let's roll again. I hope you've enjoyed going back through the years of Carson Kressley and I really have. It's brought back a lot of memories. Now, a lot of times what you see on camera isn't the entire experience of what happens. And I wish I had a camera built in on my shoulder so I could really show you the personalities of all these different celebrities that I interviewed, because what you see on camera really isn't necessarily what you see off camera. But with Carson, what you see on camera is really how he is in person. And I love having him on my show. He's a really dear friend of mine now. Over the years of having him, we've developed a great relationship, and he's a really great guy. Model expert Jay Manuel from America's Next Top Model gives advice on how to be a true top model.
Well, you know, a true top model really has to command the presence of a room when she walks in the room. But you know what, especially today, it's so different than it was years ago where they were just runway models, then we're print models. I mean, now we're expecting the girls to walk, talk, look good, and truly be able to represent a brand. And that's a difficult thing because CEOs are looking for someone who can really do everything.
Jay Manuel discloses some secrets behind the scenes about how long it really takes to shoot a photo shoot on America's Next Top Model.
First of all, people don't even realize that, let's say even a photo shoot day is 14 hours, but you only see 7 minutes of the photo shoot. So when they see me roll my eyes and stuff, I mean, I'm actually helping the girls most of the time, but and when, you know, Jay's coaching the girls, he really does teach them. So we do spend a lot of time with them. It's just the fact that you can't show everything in 42 minutes, really.
Mr. Jay Manuel explains his passion for Merces. After Jay Manuel explains his passion for Merces, someone tried to steal it and then called it a purse. I've thoroughly enjoyed having Mr. Jay Manuel on my show, and I look forward to having him on my show again. He is always impeccably stylish from head to toe. There isn't even one hair on his head that is ever out of place. He has it going on. He's a great guy as well. Back at 2006, I was at the Betsy Johnson show at Bryant Park in New York City. I saw this cute little girl that was dressed nicely, and I wanted to feature her on my show. That cute girl was Lauren Conrad, before she actually became known for her reality shows. She told me about her school and what she was studying and what she aspired to be in the future.
I'm working and going to school and filming back in LA, so that's what I've been doing most of the time.
What are you studying in school?
Product development.
Oh, so eventually you're going to evolve into that?
Yeah.
A megastar as a result of The Hills premiering on MTV. Then she actually has her own clothing line, which she premieres on the runways of Los Angeles Fashion Week. I got an opportunity to catch up with her backstage. I was pretty surprised on how involved she is with her collection.
And what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a piece from the fall collection. Actually, I went down the runway today.
So what inspired you for this collection?
I think the same thing that inspires me every collection I do. I'm kind of designing a line for myself.
You know, a lot of people get nicknames. I've been called everything from A to Z. In this clip, Lauren Conrad clears up what she really wants to be called.
Conrad or LC, I don't know which one I should call you.
Lauren Conrad, please.
Okay, Lauren, you look very beautiful.
As Lauren Conrad becomes more and more of a megastar, she explains how it feels to have the responsibility of so many young girls looking up to her.
A little bit intimidating. It's very scary to be told that you're looked up to, because then you feel a sort of responsibility in the way you act.
Right. It makes you a little nervous, because if you do something wrong, you're like, oh my God, don't do what I'm doing. You know, I'm human, I make mistakes too.
Every time I've interviewed Lauren Conrad, she always looks so stunning. So I've decided to give her a new nickname.
Her name is not any longer Lauren Conrad, it's Princess Conrad. Look at what she looks like. She looks like a little doll.
Lauren Conrad, AKA Princess Conrad, explains how her life has changed since being on the hit show, The Hills.
I mean, it's been different, but it's been nice. It's a little more mellow. It's my schedule, like I get to make my own schedule, which is nice, but I've been writing and working with Kohl's department store and keeping busy. It's just different. It's nice. I have a less stressful life.
6 years after having her on my show, I congratulate her for all the success that she's having, and I ask her to elaborate on what's happening in her life. The first time that I met Lauren, she was not Lauren Conrad. She was just Lauren, a student from California that wanted to watch the Betsy Johnson show. She was a sweet, beautiful girl that was at Fashion Week. Now, many years later, she is a megastar. She's one of the highest paid reality stars that has a multi-book deal. She has a very successful website and blog. She has a clothing label that's sold in Kohl's and probably some other stores. She has not changed a bit. And I think that's amazing. I love having her on my show, and I'm looking forward to having her again. I hope you guys enjoy watching our FNL Flashback Friday, and stay tuned every Friday as we bring you flashbacks from several celebrities that we've had on the show over the decade of being here. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned every Friday. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the episode, and I will respond. I'm your host, Rocco Leo Gagliotti, and welcome to FNL's Flashback Friday. In this episode, we're going to talk about J. Alexander, or affectionately known as Miss J, from America's Next Top Model.
You're watching me live right here with my friend Rocco Gagliotti at Fashion News Live.
Of course, we all know that Miss J is famous for being a runway coach. Miss J has taught many famous models how to work that catwalk. Let's find out who he gave a refresher course to and how he thought she did.
How did Kimura walk on the last?
Well, I gave her 15 minutes of a quick lesson in the back because she was one of my students way back in the day, so I had to give a little refresher course. And with her refresher course, I thought she did quite well. I would have wanted her to be a little more over the top, but I think she just pulled back just a bit. I mean, hasn't been on the runway in years.
One thing that I've learned in my decade of being in this industry is to be careful who you piss off, and definitely do not piss Miss J off. Let's find out what happened that got Miss J all riled up.
And guess what? I was not allowed. They came to me yesterday at Carlos Mealy and said they do not want you in their show. It's everybody in fashion, such as Jay and I, close, but we know people in the business that are even closer. But because they don't talk to us all the time, they don't know that. They don't know who we know. So I got all of our client lists, and I know where to go from there.
At the Red Dress Collection, Miss J was there just to have some fun and be supportive, so he didn't really coach anyone that night. But what did he think of celebrities walking down that runway?
This is icing. I mean, she made it down without breaking a limb, which was great.
So what would Miss J wear if he walked in the red dress collection?
I'm thinking, would I go short to show legs, or would I go very, very tall and elegant?
Now, would you wear high heels?
Of course I would.
12 inches or how high?
Well, I see 12 inches every day.
Wait, hold the press. What did Miss J just say?
I see 12 inches every day.
Miss J is pretty cocky, isn't he? One thing that I love doing with Miss J is talking about the styles that we see on the runways at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. There was one thing in particular that came to my attention that also offended him. Let's see the nickname that Miss J gave to this style.
I'll work. I mean, you have those poopy pants, I call them, with the drop crotches. We know I can always use a pair of drop crotch pants.
Fashion Week, I had an accident and broke my right foot. And everyone was trying to take my job. Listen to what Miss J said.
This is Miss J for Fashion News Live. And now that Rocco has a broken foot, I'm gonna take his job. Bye.
I've been interviewing Miss J for almost a decade now. He's one of my favorites to have on my show, and I'm honored to be his friend. He's a great guy off camera and on camera. What you see is what you get.
This is Nigel Barker, and you're watching Fashion News Live.
I wanted the inside scoop on one photo shoot in particular that we learned had to be canceled. Let's find out why from Nigel.
A photo shoot that you were going to do, I think, with sharks in a fish tank, but had to cancel the sharks because something about the periods, or that's true.
I found out how long the judging actually takes on American Next Top Model. It isn't the 20 minutes that we see aired on TV.
Judging often takes 8, 9, 10 hours, and you only see 20 minutes of it. You know, so the process behind the show is huge. I mean, I
found out another piece of very interesting information. Found out how America's Next Top Model crew travels when they go on location. Listen to what Nigel says on how they manage a crew of over 100 people.
Fly to an abroad destination will often take 100 people with us. You know, so it's huge. We take over an entire hotel. You know, it's a big thing. It's difficult to be covert when you have that many people around you, but they manage it.
Now, do you all fly on one plane?
No. If that plane went down, heaven forbid, there would be no more show. No.
So they separate different people on different planes?
They do. They really do.
What seems different about Nigel in this interview? Is it the suit? No. The polka dot tie? Nope. Oh yeah, watch this.
What made you grow your hair
I've
out?
always had hair. So this is the thing. My little girl, who's only 2.5, called Jasmine, said her first words were, "Dada, no hair." And I was like, no, Jazz, Dad has hair. She's like, no, Dada, no hair. And she'd bang my head. So I'm like, okay, Jazz, I'm going to prove it to you, I've got hair. And who knew, but as a result of it, everyone's in an uproar. Oh my goodness, you're growing your hair.
Nigel is not only a talented photographer, he gives back with gratitude to various organizations with his time and efforts.
Actually, I've actually just recently signed a contract with the United Nations Foundation as an ambassador for them, for their new Girl Up initiative, raising awareness for women's rights and obviously girls' rights all around the world. And yeah, I created a film for the Humane Society of the United States for the Protect Seal campaign. But I also work on the Protect Shark campaign. So sharks and seals don't get on very well, so there's a little bit of a problem there.
The table on me and actually interviewed me this time at the From Scotland with Love show.
Absolutely.
So Rocco,
yes.
What brings you here tonight?
You! I saw that you were judging and that you were a guest celebrity judge here, so I thought, you know what, I better come trip over you and your beautiful wife.
I love the tie.
Thank you.
And I see you still got the beard since Fashion Week.
Yes, and I'm growing my hair a little bit longer.
I shaved mine.
Hey, this is an honor. I'm being interviewed by Nigel Barker. I see that, and you had longer hair before, but you cut it off.
And what do you reckon about Wounded Warriors?
Say that again.
Wounded Warriors.
I think it's an amazing cause, and I'm glad that a lot of people are coming out to support it. I actually just got back from Ukraine myself for World Water Day. I was in Kiev because there's issues with water pollution there, and I'm, trying to utilize the fan base that I have to help people like you do with the seals. You went to Alaska, and you did a whole photo session with the seals, and yeah, so it's, we get to a certain point, and then we want to give back. And
then, when I ran into Nigel and his wife later, they both shared with me how much he actually really enjoyed hosting FNL. Shortly thereafter, he told me he got a job hosting The Face.
Face premieres February 12th on Oxygen, and it's really exciting. Naomi Campbell, Karolina Kokova, Coco Rocha, 3 amazing supermodels face off as they try to impart the ways of the supermodel to their aspiring models, where one girl will become the face of Ulta Beauty.
Here's a fun fact. The very first time I interviewed Nigel Barker, I actually tripped after I did my closing of the interview. And ever since then, we've had a fun, ongoing teasing about this. If you watch our interviews over the years, he'll comment about it often, and I play back and forth. Hey, you never know what's going around, right? You walk around, you may trip, you may not, but he's a really good guy, and he's one of my favorites to have on my show. We're going to talk about a girl that was completely mobbed backstage at the Heatherette show at Bryant Park. The year was 2006. I got in front of her and yelled at the entire press mob that was mobbing her to back up. Of course, they backed up because I'm a big guy. I turned around and I saw that it was Paris Hilton that was actually getting mobbed. I got a handshake from her manager and her personal security guard. They told me, hey, thank you for your help, and follow me backstage and I'll get you an exclusive sit-down one-on-one interview with Paris. They also proceeded to say, I bet the other press members are gonna hate your guts and the paparazzis. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if they hate me or not. So I was able to sit down and get a one-on-one exclusive with Paris backstage. Nobody else was. And this is what she said about her new album and who inspired her.
Look up to Madonna. I think that she's an incredible artist, and I've just always been really inspired by her.
Whenever you think of Paris Hilton, you think of some bimbo like, oh my God, it's so hot, and then The Night in Paris, that sex porn she made with her boyfriend. You think of a socialite, you think of a party girl that all she wants to do is go out, party, and be nasty. So I confronted her about the way the public perceives her, and I asked her some really challenging questions. But before I asked her if she wanted a spot of tea. Accents like, hello, my name is Paris Hilton, can I help you? Would you like a spot of tea with Paris? No.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people perceive you as a socialite and a partier, but the reality is that you're a business, you're a brand. How does that, affect you, and what's your perception on that?
Well, I think when people first saw me, I was 15 years old and going to a lot of clubs and parties, just moving to New York City.
Which is fun. I like to do that too.
I think anyone at that age who can get in is going to go. But when people say that now, that's, that was something when I did when I was a teenager. Now I'm a businesswoman, I'm a brand, I do my work, and if I'm at a party, it's for, a photo shoot like this, or it's for one of my products. Right. So now I mostly just go out for work. I once again met Paris Hilton backstage at New York Fashion Week and complimented her on her dress. First time I met Paris Hilton was more than 8 years ago. And it was an interesting encounter. I had no idea who I was protecting. I just jumped in front of a pretty girl and I thought I was helping her. Come to find out it was Paris Hilton. Ever since then, I've always been able to get exclusives for her on my show, FNL. I've really appreciated her opening up to me, and then of course introducing me to some of her other celebrity friends and her sister. So I really enjoy having Paris Hilton on the show, and she is a down-to-earth person. All of us at any different ages react and respond differently to different circumstances. But she really is a stand-up girl. I really enjoy having her.
Hi, you're watching Fashion News Live with Petra and Rocco.
Petra takes my mic and takes control of my interview. Let's watch what happens.
Excellent. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. The last time I spoke to you,
the show?
I thought it was beautiful, and the makeup was really cool too.
Good. Okay, let me ask you some questions. So, what was your favorite outfit?
There was so many I wasn't sure, to be honest.
Okay, who was your favorite girl?
You.
I was not working the show.
You should have been working the show. You should.
I know what, it's much easier to sit and watch. I have less stress. So I'm very happy.
I think it's funny because you see the girls walk, their back is bent and they walk.
Yes.
Like that.
Show me how you do it.
They
Show
do
me.
It like this.
Excellent. Excellent. We just need a little bit of a heels and a little miniskirt, then you will be perfect.
See my feet up?
You just have to shave the legs.
Petra tells me about her charity, the Happy Hearts Foundation, and how it changes children's lives all over the world.
Happy Hearts Fund, which is a foundation which I established 3 years ago. And what we do, we focus on bettering children's lives through education, technology and sustainability. So what it means, building schools with sustainable business and putting a computer lab there. And we are now in 12 countries, such as Haiti, Congo, Peru. In Peru we are opening 2 schools with sustainable business in October. In October we are opening 5 computer labs in Congo.
You know, interviewing Petra at every Fashion Week season and at every event that I see her, it's always like summer camp. We always pick up from where we left off.
See you every season. It's like summer camp. Hi, and I see you sometimes in Los Angeles, of course.
Yes. Well, it is a bit like, it's a nice way to look at it, like a summer camp. Although the weather doesn't correspond with the summer camp, I must say. But yes, it is really a wonderful meeting point. I was actually explaining a friend of mine. I took her to Tommy Hilfiger show yesterday it was her first fashion show, and I was saying it's not only about the glamour and the art, and it's also about meeting friends, because many of us, we travel constantly all over the world, and it's hard to meet up. So it's a meeting point, and it gives us a chance to reconnect. So yeah, summer camp, I like it.
Yeah, I'm interviewing Petra, and you try to walk between the camera and her and I, you better watch out.
Yo! It's been an amazing yo.
That's what we say when people are walking the camera. I got Petra, she's like, yo, back up. All right, so the Happy Hearts Foundation.
Sorry.
In Phuket several years ago, she was caught in a tsunami. So many of her bones were broken and she lost her fiance, and she held onto a tree for 8 hours. Someone like this is an amazing person, and I'm honored to have her on my show.
I'm Tyson Beckford, and you're watching Fashion News Live.
I first met Tyson in Milan when we both were signed with the same modeling agency. We actually worked out in the same gym. Several years later, I caught up with him at Fashion Week.
Put your shirt on or you're gonna take it off. Yeah. And no more jerseys. It's dead, son, it's dead. Let it go. Let it go. Very grown. Unless you're like on the 15, then you can do it. Otherwise, knock it off. And you brothers running around with the t-shirts down to your knees, looking like you just woke up like this. Grow up, knock it off. Make sure your shirt fit. Go get some muscles. They got them at the gym.
Tyson and I reminisced about our former agent in Milan and talked about a show on Bravo called Make Me a Supermodel.
Show on Bravo, we take 14 kids and 7 girls, 7 guys. We put them in the house and put them in the real fashion world and put them to work and see how they do and see if we can make one of them a supermodel.
He was on the red carpet at the Victoria's Secret show before it started, and he gave me his opinion on what he thought he was about to see.
And it's like Christmas for men, but the packages are open.
Tyson and I discussed the challenges of transitioning from one aspect of the industry into the other. Often, casting directors will ask, well, I know you're a model and you're good looking. Can you walk while you talk?
It is a hard transition because they just think you're a pretty face and you can't act. So my last film won about 15 independent awards, and I co-produced that, and I starred in it with Lynn Whitfield, Bruce McGill. It's definitely a lot of work. You know, you can't just jump into it thinking that you know what you're doing. You can just easily just read the words and be that character. I went 8 years of acting school while I was still doing the runway stuff, so it was pretty good, man. I mean, it's definitely a hard transition. Still, I still have issues. You know, I mean, I was nominated Best Actor. I lost to a veteran actor, but my supporting actor, Glenn Thurman, won. But, you know, it's definitely a hard thing, man, when you transition. And that name of that film was Kings of the Evening, which has been playing on Stars, and, you know, I've heard it's been on HBO too as well. So we're doing well. You know, it's just, you know, you're trying to do it as a filmmaker as well.
Tyson tells us his health and fitness secrets.
Just hydrate, a lot of water. I'm into cycling now. I do a lot of running, cardio stuff, and I love to jump rope. So those are my few little secrets. I'm not going to give it all.
When I first met Tyson Beckford, it was in the 90s in Milan, Italy. We both had the same agent, Calvin French. Tyson was amazingly friendly then, and he's really friendly now. I commend him on all the success and wish him nothing but the best.
Hi, I'm Kelly Osbourne, and you're watching one of my favorite fashion people, Rocco, on Fashion News Live.
The woman that we're showcasing now is one of my favorite guests to have on my show. In the public eye, she's struggled with some serious weight issues. So she's going to share with me her strategy on how to eat cupcakes without getting picked on by the paparazzi.
I really, really want to, but it would be my luck that I would go and get eaten.
And there would be like a paparazzi, right?
It would be the only picture they used. So I have a plan that my friend Anna is going to take the plate of cupcakes and I'm going to eat it backstage after the show.
So I'm backstage hanging out with Kelly Osbourne at the Nanette Lepore show at Bryant Park in New York City. The paparazzi swoops in and I tell Kelly, hey, whisper to me that it's getting hot in here and I'll make sure that you get out of here. So I hear her say, Rocco, it's getting hot in here. I picked her up in my arms, put her over my shoulders, and ran out of the backstage into the Mercedes-Benz VIP Star Lounge, where we were safely away from the paparazzi.
Know that my new personal bodyguard is Rocco. He's been amazing today and I'm obsessed with him.
Kelly shares how her treatment has changed from PR firms and fashion houses after she's lost so much weight and become more of a starlet.
Because people didn't used to lend me clothes, ever, at all. PR companies didn't like me.
They're like, who are you?
And I was a bit of a bitch before as well, so to be able to come to Fashion Week, and I mean, yesterday I woke up to the doorman with 10 Marquesa dresses waiting for me to pick, and I was like,
to be on TV a little bit, exactly.
Like, when did this happen?
And you were like, before I was on TV, I didn't get, now I get everything.
It was amazing. I'm like, I've had the most fun at Fashion Week that I have ever had.
It looks so adorable in her Nanette Lepore dress. I had to twirl her around like a princess.
She's wearing, let's do a pan up and down, and let's do it again, one more time. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. All right, so
Kelly goes from being picked on as an overweight celebrity to appearing on Dancing with the Stars and losing so much weight. Now she's being recognized as a woman of style.
Getting an award tonight. Woman of Style for Divine Design, and it's really exciting, and I love what Project Angel Food does, and to be a part of such a beautiful charity, and I feel really, really honored. I've been really excited about tonight for a while.
Kelly Osbourne elaborates on her involvement with Project Angel Food.
Actually in the kitchen cooking today. What were you cooking up?
I made peas. Well, I stirred the peas, and then I helped put together meals that they deliver to people suffering with terminal illnesses around the LA area, and it's just amazing what they do, and their work with they don't just provide meals, they provide support and a friendly face, and what they do is just fantastic.
Kelly opens up to me about some of the changes in her life.
Paid mind to me, but it wasn't in a positive light. It was always because I was getting myself in trouble, or they were calling me fat or a brat, but to be looked at in a positive way is what's changed, and I sometimes think, oh God, it's weird, I don't have to defend myself, but at the same time, it's really been amazing.
She fills me in on what happens when she just interviewed an iconic, world-renowned fashion designer.
People didn't used to lend me clothes, ever, at all. PR companies didn't like me.
They're like, who are you?
And I was a bit of a bitch before as well, so to be able to come to Fashion Week, and I mean, yesterday I woke up to the doorman with 10 Marquesa dresses waiting for me to pick, and I was like,
to be on TV a little bit, exactly.
Like, when did this happen?
Transformation that Kelly's made from a rebellious teenager to an incredibly mature and dynamic person who is as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside has been an amazing thing to see. She continues to be one of my favorite people to interview.